So spoiled kids tend to think that they can get away with everything and anything. And in this story, you'll see a rich kid learn that he actually can't get away with anything he wants and ends up getting banned from the local movie theater. This is a crazy one. I'll know you'll enjoy it, so let's just jump right into it. So anyways, we're going to call the subscriber who submitted the story Brian. So this story started because Brian moved to a new neighborhood, and it's always kind of difficult to move far away from your old friends. And because, a lot of people, when you move somewhere new, a lot of people have already made these friendships in the neighborhood. So when you move in, it's kind of like pretty imperative that right off the bat, you start working pretty hard to make new friends, or you'll be in a position where you won't make friends at all, really. So when I was in middle school, I had really good friends, but then I went to a high school that none of my friends in middle school went to, really. So I had a really difficult first year making friends. And after working pretty hard, I eventually made them. But yeah, it's really hard to start fresh. And the thing is, the subscriber, Brian, his mom knew this. So his mom was pretty much on top of it. And immediately as they moved into the new neighborhood, went on Facebook, met moms of kids similar age to Brian, and she actually arranged a bit of a get-together. The get-together was Brian and these three new friends were all going to go to the movie theater that was 20 minutes away from them. So a pretty close local movie theater. So anyways, on the day that was arranged, Brian, meets up with these guys, and they meet up actually outside the movie theater. So he's driving over, and Brian's kind of tells his mom that he's a little bit nervous because it's been a while since he's been the new guy in the friend group. So back in his old school or his old neighborhood or whatever, there would occasionally be new people that would be introduced to the group, but it was always the dynamic that Brian and his friends were being receptive to them, and it wasn't the other way around. It was never Brian being the new guy going into a pre-established group. So Brian's mom reminds him, Brian, you're a good guy. They're going to like you. Just be yourself, and everything will be okay. So eventually they get there, drop Brian off, and Brian meets the new guys. Two of them are pretty cool, but one of them is a spoiled kid, and it's not super obvious from the start that this kid is actually quite entitled. So anyways, they introduce themselves. Brian, says that it's, hi, I'm Brian, I'm new, whatever. They introduce each other. I don't really need to assign names to them because it's not as important, as long as you can distinguish one of them as the spoiled kid. So eventually they go inside. They all have tickets, as they all bought tickets beforehand. But, as you go to a movie theater, you might want to go inside, get some popcorn, maybe get to your seats early. I don't really know, right? So they walk inside, and they decide to go up to get some popcorn. And this is where things start to go downhill, or at least Brian starts to realize that his friends are low-key, or at least one of them is a bit of a spoiled kid, right? So they get in line. And if you guys don't know, most movie theaters, if not all movie theaters, they only make money on the food that they sell. They basically break even when it comes to the movies that they show. So they really need to make their money when it comes to selling food items, right? So giving someone away food for free would make literally no sense here. And that's also why movie theater food is just so expensive. It's annoying, but it's the only way that they can possibly stay afloat. So anyways, they get in line, and the spoiled kid goes up to the guy, and he's like, I would like 4 large popcorns for free. And the guy behind the counter looks at this kid and is like, what? He's never had someone come up to him before and say, yes, I would like this for free. Thank you very much. Dude, what are you saying right now? So the guy looks at him and kind of just calmly responds, hey man, we don't give away food for free. I don't know if this is something that happens at other movie theaters. If you just go up to the guy and say, give this to me for free, that if for some reason that kind of, makes it so that they just give you free food. I don't know if that's a thing somewhere else, bro, but that is definitely not a thing here. So the spoiled kid is looking at him, and he's like, no, you know about and he says some kind of not a fast food chain, but a restaurant chain that was really popular in the town that they lived in. It was 3 or 4 of the same type of, maybe let's say an Italian restaurant. And the guy's like, yeah. And the spoiled kid is like, my daddy owns those restaurants, so I should be able to get the popcorn for free. Which honestly, if you think about it, well, first of all, that makes no sense. Why would they give you popcorn for free? Because your dad did something cool, like you didn't do anything. But also, like, it actually makes negative sense because wouldn't you actually, like, why would you get it for free if your dad obviously is doing pretty well financially? Like, shouldn't the guy start charging you more? Because it's like, oh, yeah, your dad. Does your dad want to make a donation to the movie theater? We're not doing so well right now. But, yeah, I think the spoiled kid just assumed because his father was powerful in the community that he would be able to get, like, a free popcorn for all of his friends. I really think the spoiled kid was going above and beyond because he wanted to kind of flex his muscle to the new kid, Brian. And Brian was standing in line, and Brian just felt so awkward and uncomfortable because, I don't know, he's just never had someone that has been so entitled that they believe because their father did X or because their father did Y, that they would be entitled to a free whatever at, like, some local place. Like, if anything, like, it would make less sense for him to get something free, right? Because his dad's got the funds, right? He's got the funds. Why would he get it for free, bro? So the thing is, right, the guy behind the cash register is kind of like, sorry, like, that's cool and all, but I can't do that. Like, first of all, I can't do that. Second of all, I actually can't do that because, like, I don't run the movie theater. This isn't my movie theater. I just serve popcorn and run their cash register. It's not like I could make the executive decision here. And the spoiled kid is like, no, I don't think you heard me correctly. My father runs the insert name of some chain restaurants around here. We have quite a bit of influence. If you want to keep your job, you will give me the popcorn for free. And, like, it's kind of funny because, yeah, his dad ran some chain restaurants around there, but does that mean he's, like, part of the Illuminati and can get you fired with, like, a snap of his fingers? Like, no. Yeah, maybe if you were working at one of his restaurants, he could get you fired like that. But this kid really believes, just because his dad has a little bit of money and runs some restaurants, that he is, like, a super powerful, all-knowing, all-seeing, all-controlling entity from, like, outer space. Like, dude, chill out for a second. And right now, just think about how Brian is feeling. Brian is cringing so freaking hard. This is so awkward and uncomfortable, because the worst thing, too, is there are people behind him in line. It's not just 4 of them in line right now. The line is getting longer and longer, and the people behind Brian have lumped him in with this group of kids. Basically, they are now known as the spoiled kids who think because their parents are powerful that they can do whatever they want to everyone behind him. And that sucks for Brian because he wasn't doing any of that. So yeah, Brian was really awkwardly standing there. And at one point, like, Brian kind of whispers to the guy in front of him being like, he's like, dude, I can pay for this. It really doesn't matter. Brian really wasn't trying to shell out like $25 for like 4 large popcorns because Brian wasn't rolling in bread. Like, that would almost bankrupt him. But he'd rather be bankrupt than deal with this for even a second longer. And the kid in front of him is like, dude, don't worry. Like spoiled kid he'll pay for it. He's just sometimes a little bit. I don't know. He's a little bit tough sometimes. Which, bro, what do you mean a little bit tough? No, he's just being a jerk right now. What do you mean? So yeah, this honestly goes on for another like 3 minutes, which sounds like, okay, dude, 3 minutes is not a lot of time, but man, 3 minutes is a long time if it's a really awkward, intense back and forth between a spoiled kid demanding popcorn for free because his father is powerful and some run-of-the-mill cash. There's some guy that like is trying to get his paycheck, trying to work on the weekends, get some extra money, has no influence, and is just trying to explain to this kid that it doesn't matter, and also even if it did matter, it's not like he could make that choice. So eventually the spoiled kid is like, fine. And he like takes out his wallet, gives him his credit card. Well, his credit card with massive quotations really is just his dad's credit card with his name on it because he's only like 15 or whatever. But yeah, so sure enough, as the guy is going behind there getting popcorn for them, the spoiled kid is like, my father will hear about this and you will hear about it from him. And like, that's just like, first of all, super cringe to say that. But second of all, you're really just asking for this guy to spit in your popcorn, bro. You were really just begging on your knees for this guy to do a big, nice spit in your popcorn right now. Because look, I don't encourage that. Like, I think that's a bad thing if you're a server to do. People could have allergies, and it could really, but also I wouldn't be totally blaming him at the same time, if you know what I mean. So eventually, they're given the popcorn, and right off the bat, Brian is like, I don't know about these kids. Because, like, the spoiled kid is obviously bad because of all the things he's done, but also the other two just seem so indifferent to this. It's not as if the other two were acting as entitled and spoiled as the spoiled kid was, but at the same time, dude, like, when Brian said, oh, I'll pay for it, they say, oh, don't worry, he does this. Like, they're used to this. They're enabling this. They're encouraging this, man. So Brian was not sure if this is the group of guys he wanted to roll with. So anyways, as well as popcorns, they each get one large water, which if you're eating popcorn in the movies, popcorn's super salty, so having a large water as well makes a ton of sense in my opinion. But anyways, they walk into the movie theater like 10 minutes later than they would have if they didn't have this big old conversation, this big old argument of, my father is powerful, give it to me for free. Like, dude, seriously? But anyways, they walk into the movie theater and they walk through the door. Door is the secret word of the day. Comment that down below if you made it this far. Listen on Spotify if you want to listen on Spotify, link down below. And if you are listening on Spotify, rate 5 stars, helps me out. Anyways, let's get back to it. So they walk through the door, secret word, walk through the door of the movie theater. They walk in and they sit down. The seats they have are pretty good. They're like, I don't know, like middle row or whatever, but they're fine. You can see the movie screen just fine. But anyways, the spoiled kid is like, as they sit down, the spoiled kid's like, man, I can't believe that guy didn't give us the popcorn for free. Like, he doesn't know what's good for him. Like, what happened to manners in this town? Which, like, Brian is looking at him like, what do you mean, what happened to manners, bro? Like, dude, you were yelling at him saying, give stuff to me for free because my father is rich. Like, bro, what? What part of manners is that, dude? But anyways, you guys might be thinking, oh, is that the only thing the spoiled kid did? No. No. You are mistaken, my friend. It's about to get much, much worse. And they are about to get kicked out of and banned, not just kicked out of, banned from the movies forever, for life. So anyways, the movies begin, and I don't know what movie it is. It's something. But the spoiled kid is getting a little bit bored. And at this point, they haven't drunk a lot of their water yet, or drank, I don't know, I'm kind of stupid. They didn't have much of their water yet. They had a few sips, but not much more than that. So they all had full glasses full of water. So the spoiled kid looks down at his cup, looks up at his friends, looks down at his cup, looks back up at his friends, and is like, boys, we have some trolling to do. So yeah, basically the spoiled kid is preparing. He's like, okay, I'm bored. I have a glass of water. Let's pull some pranks, which you're going to the movie to watch a movie, right? You're not going to the movie theater to pull pranks on other people. But the spoiled kid, who, as I said in the beginning, as spoiled kids do, believes he can get away with anything, as he believes that since his father is so powerful, that he should have everything given to him for free, and that he can do anything that he wants, right? So the spoiled kid probably believes, since like, oh, his daddy's so powerful, that he can get away with anything. And he truly believes this. Because the spoiled kid looks over at Brian and looks over at the other two guys and is like, dude, watch this. We're going to prank the guys behind us so bad. The spoiled kid grabs his cup of ice cold water, turns around, and just splashes the cup of ice cold water in the face of the like 40-year-old guy directly behind him. And he sits back down. He's like, like, guys, wasn't that so funny? And Brian is just staring at him, completely mortified, completely shocked and taken off guard that he just can't believe that the spoiled kid legitimately just turned around and splashed a guy in the face with ice cold water. Like, first of all, you could have just splashed in the face some like mafia boss who's gonna come and beat you up, bro. Like, you don't know who you're splashing. Second of all, dude, like, that's not cool. Bro is just trying to enjoy the movie, and all of it, 1 second, he's enjoying the great movie on screen. The next second, he has a bunch of ice-cold water splashed in his face by some little spoiled kid snot dude, like, sitting in front of him. Like, are you serious right now? So at this point, Brian realizes that their time in the movie theater, let's just say, is nearing an end. Not by their own choice, But Brian just knows that this is not going to be good because he sees the guy behind them get up and walk out of the movie theater. And so the thing is, it's funny. The spoiled kid sees this and says, "Oh my God, boys, we scared that guy off. He's such a chicken, bro. Like, he's so goofy. Ha ha ha." Little did they know that, no, they did not scare him off. He was simply just going to get the security to come and escort them out of there, right? Because everyone around them saw what they did. So it's not as if they can be like, "Oh, security, this old man is lying because he hates the kids, right? He hates the youth." Because no, literally everyone around them would be like, "Yeah, these kids turned around and splashed ice cold water in the face of this guy." So sure enough, this guy comes back with these two security guards, and Brian looks at them and is like, "Well, I was enjoying this movie, but it looks like life has a different plan for me right now." So sure enough, the two security guards come over and are behind the four kids, and they're like, "You four, stand up and walk out with us." And the spoiled kid's like, "What? We didn't do anything." And they just look at him. And then eventually the kids, Brian and the other three, literally just stand up because they know it's not even worth pretending like they didn't do anything. Not even worth it. So Brian was thinking, okay, we're going to get kicked out of the movie theater, right? Which sucks. It's not good. But the security guards, once they escort them out of the movie, out of the movie theater itself and into the hallways, they don't escort them towards the door. No. They escort them towards the back room. And that's when Brian, not the back, the back rooms, they're going to no-clip, guys. No, just playing. But that's when Brian realized things were getting serious. Things were getting not so good. Yeah. So anyways, instead of being escorted towards the door, they were escorted to a back room. And they were escorted to the back room, and the security guard said, "You four, stand against that wall." And Brian's like, is this an execution, bro? What the heck is going on right now, dude? So sure enough, they stand up against the wall, and one security guard disappears, right? And the other one stands looking at them in dead silence. And Brian's like, "Wait, is this actually an execution? Wait a minute, whoa, pause, bro. Whoa. Lois, where is my Batman cop?" So yeah, sure enough, the guy goes away, and he comes back with a camera. And Brian is like, "Okay, execution by camera, that's new." And then the guy says, "All four of you stand there, or actually three of you go to the side, one of you stand right there." And he sure enough takes a headshot. He's like, "All right, you go there, you go there." And eventually goes through all four of them and takes headshots of all four of them. And they're all like, At one point, one of the kids, not the spoiled kid or Brian, but one of the other two, is like, "Oh, what's going on right now?" And he's like, "Well, boys, because of your shenanigans, you're getting banned." And they're like, "Oh, banned? What do you mean? Kicked out?" And they're like, No, you're not getting kicked out. You're getting banned. Banned for life." And they're all just like, "Oh my God, are you serious right now?" And so one of the friends of the spoiled kid, funny enough, Brian was not the one to do this, but one of the friends of the spoiled kid was like, I didn't do anything, officer. I swear I didn't do anything." And they're like, "Not what the report said. This guy said that these four boys splashed a big thing of cold water in his face and laughed. That's unacceptable behavior, boys. We cannot risk to have you back here and ruining the sanctity of the movie theater for other families to enjoy." So yeah, one of the kids actually was like, "It wasn't me." And this kid kind of looks at the spoiled kid, wanting the spoil, because here's the thing. If the spoiled kid wanted to, he could have very easily, because he was going to get banned either way, he could have very easily been like, "Officer, this is a mistake. I threw the water. It was 100% on my idea. It was only me. These three didn't do anything," right? Maybe that would not gotten them out of trouble, but at least it would have been an effort, and it would have been the truth as well. But no, the spoiled kid, instead of doing that, because that is 100% the truth, the other three had nothing to do with it. The spoiled kid decided that, nope, he was just going to let them all go down with the sinking ship. So yeah, they get escorted off by the officer, and they're kicked out, and they're officially banned. Basically, they were told that a photo would be printed out, and it would be under the ticket guy at the front desk, and that there's photos of people that are permanently banned, and they always kind of check the photos when people walk in, and that they would not be allowed to come back ever. So yeah, as they're walking out, one of the kids goes to the spoiled kid, like, bro, like, why didn't you say that, like, it was only you who did it? And the spoiled kid's like, well, it was, like, kind of all of us. It was, like, a group idea. And the guy's like, dude, it wasn't a group idea. It was 100% you. And also, I go here, like, every week with my family. Now I can't come back because of you. And, like, Brian is just awkwardly sitting there. And he texts his mom, like, hey, mom, can you come pick us up? And she's like, she kind of responds, oh, is the movie done already? And Brian kind of is like, yeah, can you just come pick me up? And she's like, okay. So sure enough, Brian's mom comes over, picks him up, and she's like, Brian, like, what happened? And he's like, well, I don't know if these are going to be my friends, but boy, do I have a story for you.